everyone, William here. I just had another great conversation with another guest. Would you like to come in and listen in on the conversation we had? By the way, feel free to share it with anyone you feel may find it of interest. Come on, let's go listen in now.
Ryan, welcome back to the studio.
Pleasure to be back, Bill. Yeah.
Good to see you again.
Thank you.
So today we have a different topic to talk about.
Yes.
Today we're talking about the election and how it's affecting you, the election with Bob. I know Bob's running for the councillor of Ward 3. I've had him in, and we've had some discussions about it. And what made you get involved in the election?
Well, Bob and I share a lot of passions when it comes to politics. We sort of brainstorm. Every day we have our meeting in the morning. Usually we arrive at the job site a half hour to an hour earlier. And we just brainstorm. It's like a think tank, and we talk about whether it be renovations, whether it be what's going on in the news, everything to do with Hamilton, everything in the city that's going on. And we notice a lot of problems that are going on in the city, and a lot of issues. And Bob and I are very passionate. Bob, I know you know, is passionate, and that sort of has rubbed off on me, and that's prompted me to want to help him out a lot and get him pushed forward into helping everybody as much as he can, because I know if he's as good in politics as he is in renovations, then the city's got a lot to benefit from him. So, and if I can see that change happen, and I know Ward 3 is a place that needs a lot of help, and it has so much potential. I mean, this city of Hamilton is such a beautiful city. We have the waterfalls. We have now the art community that's developing. There's so much going on. There's movies that are constantly being made. And if Barton Street and all of Ward 3 can be made fresh and changed to change Hamilton to a better city that is respected by other cities, because I know everybody knows that Hamilton is not the city at the top of the list. There's Toronto, there's Mississauga, there's Burlington, there's all these other cities that sort of look at Hamilton as meh, and I want to see Hamilton. I love Hamilton. I moved to Hamilton 8 years ago, and I love Hamilton so much. I came from Mississauga. Before that, I came from Toronto, and Hamilton to me takes the cake. It's a city that has so much potential, and it needs to see a change, and I think Bob is sort of a change that is fresh and that Hamilton needs to see. So for me, it was a big thing when he asked me, he said, did you want to help me out with it and be involved in it? And I said, absolutely. If I can help and do anything to help the city become better, I'm going to. So that was a big thing for me. Yeah.
Well, I do share in your thinking about Hamilton. I came from St. Catharines, Burlington area, and there was a stigma that went along with, oh, you're moving to Hamilton.
There is, 100%.
And I had that prejudice or bias just coming into it, just thinking about it.
Yep.
And I've been here now for 7 years, and I have to say, I've never met a more warm. There's a lot of heart in this city.
Down to earth, very down to earth
people.
Yep.
Like, they're just real.
Genuine.
I found so many real people here that there's far less pretense in this city than there are in some of those larger cities. That I'm a Torontonian.
It's not such a rat race here, which is nice. It's very calm and it's a great city.
The rat race is a funny expression, because I had a friend of mine say to me once about the rat race, even if you win, you're still a rat.
Yeah, true.
So who wants to be in a rat race, right?
Definitely.
But no, I truly have embraced this city myself, and I look forward to seeing Ward 3 and all the wards actually come up. When you look at the map, Ward 3 is kind of almost centered of the city, so it's like almost the heart of the city, except for the downtown core. So it's kind of wrapped itself in the center. The rest of the city's wrapped around Ward 3.
Sort of the heart, It is. And that, the division of wards and the division of cities it's a sad thing that we have in society, in existence, that we have so much division throughout everything. And it would be nice to see Hamilton just be Hamilton and not just be wards and people divide it like that. I know that's the way it works in society, and that's the way it has to be. But if we could all just be humans. We're all just humans together, and to help each other as a community, like Hamilton as a community, to help each other, it'll improve everything.
Yeah. And division, as far as the city goes, is necessary because it breaks the city up into bite-sized chunks so that things can be focused
managed properly. Exactly.
However, what happens with division, it creates a competition, and it creates a world of lack.
Exactly.
Which we spoke about earlier before we sat down. And there isn't lack. It's all here, and it just needs to be shared. So if one ward could help another ward with, what are you doing to make your ward better?
Yeah.
What have you done that we're not doing to improve? And glean those things from each other. That's what council does. That's where all those people meet.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
So very good. So how will you help Bob with the election?
Pretty well through helping him with anything he needs help with in terms of walking the beat, meeting with homeowners and constituents and going door to door. I plan on doing things like that. I plan on promoting him through social media, through getting people involved in it, and promoting voting. I think voting is extremely, extremely important. I don't think people should just sit idly by. It's our democracy, and we can all be a part of it. We can see the change that we want, and not let somebody dictate it for us.
Right.
I think it's very important. So helping through those sort of things, through social media outlets, through promoting Bob, and helping other people realize that he's not just a contractor and he's not just a blue-collar guy. He does have the potential to be a big change in Ward 3.
Yeah, there's a huge demographic in the city in your age group.
Yeah.
Within that 5-year span. You're 26, I believe?
26, yeah.
And so you can go 5 years or 3 years either way, and it's important to have a voice like yours.
Yeah.
Let people know in your age group that the importance of it.
Exactly,
Right?
yeah.
Which is a great thing that you reached
I
out to.
was never a big... I've voted now 3 years in a row total. But before that, I was sort of... I was young. I didn't know really what it meant to vote or the importance of it. I know they taught us in school, but you don't. It sort of doesn't click in your head until you start really following and learning about politics, and you start really analyzing what's going on in the city. You don't really clue into it. Finally, a few years ago, I did, and I started voting. Now, whether or not my vote counted or it really changed anything, I hope it did, and I hope it always does, because that's what democracy is. And so I totally encourage everyone out there, if you're young, and follow politics as much as you can. Learn, listen, and go out there and vote.
Would it be a fair statement, you think, to say that once you got involved, you began to see more things, and that was one of the things that would have encouraged you to once you're involved in the city, you get to see what's going on, and you know that politics is the way change happens.
Yeah, definitely. Working renovations and going home to home and learning people's issues, and going to the city to apply for permits and learning what's right, what's not right, and you sort of see, well, why can't this go this way? Why can't that go that way? And you're like, oh, okay, well then let's see something change here, and that kind of pushes you to want to vote, and kind of you want to see change happen, and that doesn't happen unless people do vote. So
yeah. Well, you expressed to me earlier, if you want to change the way you feel, change the way you move.
Exactly.
So if you want to change the environment, you've got to get involved.
That's it.
There's probably a more eloquent way to put it, but
that's it. Yeah. That applies to a lot of things.
Yeah, and I can see that it is a big part of your life, and that you're truly involved and immerse yourself in the things that you get involved in. So, so do you see any politics in your future personally?
I definitely do. Well, we'll see how Bob's campaign goes and see how far he makes it. But I mean, I don't have a university education or anything. I have my high school and life experience. I know I'd be quite young to run, but over the next bunch of years, I definitely would consider getting myself into politics to see change happen as well. I know that there's sort of a societal awakening going on with people, and people are wanting to see change, and they're wanting to see fresh new ideas. And I know Bob's always telling me, I'm glad I have a young guy on my crew that has these fresh ideas, that has this way of thinking, and it's necessary for society to evolve. And if I could be a part of that, absolutely, I would definitely consider running in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. So now you have the election campaign, volunteering, and you've got the company to run. How do you manage to juggle those things?
Well, the campaigning stuff really hasn't taken off just yet, but Once it starts, it'll just be sort of a hobby. My free time will go into that. Yeah.
Sure. Because you're pretty dedicated to the rentals.
I am now being involved in the rentals. I'm taking a lot more on with responsibility in terms of meeting with customers and doing estimates and running the actual job, picking up materials, all that sort of thing. The day-to-day operations.
So you're going to allow Bobby to leverage who you are outside of the rentals when the leverage is available. Right?
That's it, exactly. Yeah.
Very good.
And for anybody that does want to get involved with the campaign and helping Bob out, you can visit the website, www for a better ward 3, I believe it is. Hang on, let me just check here.
I'll certainly put it up at the end of this too.
Yeah, I have a card somewhere. Bob's gonna kill me for this. Here we go. Okay, For a Better Ward. So www.forabetterward3.com. I was right. And you can email him, Bob, at forabetterward3.com. So get in touch with them if you want to volunteer, if you want to donate any money. Absolutely, you guys can help out big time with that. He's taking donations and he's taking volunteers for Walking the Beat. So
that's awesome. Yeah. For anybody who doesn't think that these conversations are conversations impromptu, that's a pure indication that they are.
Exactly.
So that was great. Ryan, it's great to have you. I look forward to having another conversation with you on many topics.
Yep.
And getting to know you is a real pleasure.
Definitely. Thanks. It was a pleasure. Thank you very much for having me on. Yep.
All right.
Take care.
Join us.